And a pleasant good evening to everyone who is listening at the live stream and who may be listening later. I am Rufus Bill, and welcome to Talking To. It's a great show that airs every Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. for 1 hour, and we talk about so many things. We bring you up to date on happenings in the community, or political issues, or issues of concern that you really want to know about, or we're talking about some funny things, or talking about what's going on, things to do, places to go, and the show is hosted by three great individuals with three great perspectives, and with saying that, we would like to welcome Justin Hearn. Good afternoon, Justin. Or good evening, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing well. Pretty fair for a square,
Pretty
you know.
fair for a
Pretty
square.
fair for a square. Glad to be, as the old folks would say, in the land of the living. Good to be seen and not viewed.
Viewed. How about
All of
that?
that.
And we have the lovely Joanne Tolson Fuller. Good evening, Joanne. How are you doing today?
Good evening. Yeah,
Hey,
yes.
Joanne.
So good to
Joanne.
see you
So you doing good, Joanne?
too.
You doing good?
I'm doing great. I am. I'm doing good. I cannot
That's
complain. I really can't. God is so good.
You cannot
For
complain.
real, for real, for real.
How about
Yes.
that? How about
Yep.
that? He
Yep.
definitely is. So with Joanne and I don't know if you heard us, Justin, but we were talking about the change of the weather.
Yeah, it's getting cold.
Yes, it
Old
is.
man Winter is knocking on the door. He's knocking on the door.
But we live in Michigan. Hey, tomorrow
right,
it could be
only in
70
Michigan.
again tomorrow. You just never know.
So,
You never know.
This how you know it's cold. Look, I brought out a coat today. You see, coat I wore today. That's how you know it's cold. Okay,
that's what showed us cold.
That's a show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? I had to bring out a coat today. It was so
real,
cold.
That's funny. Wait, and of all days, I could not find my hat. And it was that ear was circulating around my brain. I was like, oh my God, where was my hat? And I found it a couple of weeks ago, and I laid it out and all that, and so I could grab it whenever this time comes. And I tell you, somebody must have took it out of here. So it grew legs and walked.
And grew legs and walked.
when you stop looking for it, it's gonna be right in your face.
Pop up.
Mm-hmm.
There was a situation that I had a pair of gloves, and a buddy was over, and he was talking about how he liked the gloves. He had tried them on, and that was the last time I remembered seeing them. So it was the whole last winter, and I was like, I cannot find my glove. I said, did that joker just accidentally?
Oh yeah, okay.
Accidentally.
Okay.
Take my gloves without me knowing, and so I said, okay, that he did. Maybe 2 weeks ago, I was doing a piano lesson, and I went into my briefcase, and there those gloves were.
Oh
wow!
You had to say, I'm sorry, friend.
I said, I take it all back. A little.
A little. That's funny.
My
God! I definitely got some hot topics for y'all.
Oh my God!
Right. So take it away. I think we got a delayed streaming issue going on there.
Little glitch.
A glitch, Mr. StreamYard. Okay, there you go, Jay.
Okay, I don't know why I keep cutting out. But I mean, it's a lot happening in pop culture today. It's a whole lot happening, and we got to talk about it.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Cool. That's good. Before we get off into our subjects, I want the opinion of both of you.
Okay.
Now, before this is a situation that occurred to me, and I was going to try to relay the situation as it was somebody else, but I couldn't get the he and my friend and all that. I said I would go tell it it's me.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Ain't that what they say?
Right. That's right.
So this is what happened. a couple of weeks ago, I had talked to a buddy, and there was a situation that happened, and I just kind of briefly discussed what was going on. It was a friend of mine had made the transition. So anyway, so the friend that I was talking to, they called me back to see how I was doing, but I didn't answer the phone, not purposely, but I was busy or whatever. And then I did respond with a text. Well, this was in September of this year. Then I heard from them early October. That was the last time I heard from them when I had texted them. So yesterday, I called them because I hadn't heard from them. And I said, hey, what's going on? And they answered the phone and they said, oh, see your number run across my phone. I'm surprised. I said, oh, that should have been flag number one.
Mm-hmm.
So I say to the person, I say, well, I haven't heard from you. Are you good? What's going on? Well, I tried to call you and you didn't return my phone call and blah, blah, blah. And they went off and they going off. I said, but so if you had not heard from me in nearly 2 months, you didn't think about maybe something is wrong, maybe come in and do a welfare check. I'm a single guy. I live alone. This particular friend is not really known with my other friends, or they don't have any contacts. Why did I say that? Oh, they went off on me and they became irate. I said, oh, that must be guilt conscious. Then it was really fireworks and boom and da-da-da. You don't be telling me. You telling me I'm not a good friend to you and this, that. And I said, I did not say that. I just said if you had not heard from me, I would think our friendship was big enough that let me just swing by, throw a note on the door or something like that if I wasn't there. So I would like to know your individual opinion of that situation and how should I proceed going forward? Who want to take a stab at that? Rufus says, I'm done in one.
So I guess I'll take a stab at it. So I feel like, okay, the word friend is used very loosely these days.
Yes.
So I think what kind of friend this is matters. It matters. Because if it's a woman and if it's somebody who particularly finds interest in yourself, then the reaction.
If it's a woman who particularly
finds interest in you, then I think that is that comes with the territory because women are women and she did call, you responded with a text, and certain women, they're not going to come knock your door down. They're going to sit back and wait because she called. And so from that,
wait, Justin, and we all have blanked out. all of the screens cut down. You got to start again, buddy.
Okay, all right. So if it's a woman and she finds a particular interest in you, I understand where she's coming from, and I don't have a problem with the behavior because she did call you. She called you. You elected not to answer the phone. You elected to respond with a text message. So in that sense, in a romantic sense or anything like that, I can understand the woman like, well, I ain't about to be breaking my neck to hunt you down. And then I could see her getting defensive because, women actually care. They act like they don't care. So her not calling or not whatever, it probably took everything in her for her to do that. So then for you to say, well, if you would have called, you checked on me, it's like, I think it kind of makes it like, but she really does care. So it's like, that's where you get that firecracker from. So I think if that's the type of friend it is, then I think that, then I hate to say like that's women, but I understand and I respect where she comes from. Because women that like you, man, they do crazy things, man. They do crazy things. They have all the control in the world except for to a man that they love, That's just what nature, what it is.
What? Nah, I never looked at it like that, Joanne.
So I'm gonna ask the question: was it a woman?
It was a woman.
Okay.
It was a woman.
So, so I guess the issue would be, kind of what Justin was going to is that is this? I mean, are you like really just friends?
Well, I thought so.
Is it kind of like,
I'll just take my time.
I like you kind of friends?
That
but I think I would have, especially if I knew something was going on with you. Like you said, you lost a friend, you lost, and if I knew that, I think I would have probably tried to call more than one time.
Okay.
And not just wait for you to get back with
for me.
And then if I know that that's going on in your life, maybe you need some space. But then that's how I think. That's well, maybe they need some space, and they'll get to me when he's feeling better or when he's ready. He'll get back to me.
Okay, and that's what she said. And she said that.
She did say that.
Yeah. She said, "I just thought you needed some space."
Yeah, and sometimes people do. So what? Well, and then with her saying that, then why jump off?
Well, that's what I thought too.
Then
because
if
that's
what
she
really understood. Then what was the reason for the jump off?
Because every day she been trying not to call. That's why. So for you to say you should have called me or you could have came by, she drove past. She didn't have the courage to get out the car and knock on the door. But trust and believe, she done been by. So that's a slap in her face. That's why she's going off.
I mean, Joanne, when I say go off, I mean going off, screaming, volatile.
See, that's a little extra, though. That's a little extra.
What I thought.
That's to me. That's extra.
It's extra for sure.
Because especially if I knew that you were going through something. That's a little. It's different if it was just life and you called,
just regular.
You didn't call me back. But if I knew that you were going through something, to me that's different than just regular every day, and then you just didn't call me back, and then how you go tell me I'm not a friend? What you
right?
I called you, but you never called me back.
I think Saint Joanne has a. I think so. I think Saint Joanne has a level of reasoning that most women nowadays don't have.
Well, you know what?
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Thinking that too, and I said, well, maybe because she's younger, and
if she's younger, then 1,000%.
So maybe she's just not there yet.
Right.
Yeah, she ain't grace like. She ain't got that grace that they
right.
Not yet.
Not yet. Right.
Not yet.
Not
now
yet.
I started to tell that girl, and I was very proud of myself. Girl, that's why you ain't got no man. But I didn't go there. I didn't, and because I am older than she, I have to use some type of diplomacy or something, and not really just go there. Because even while she was going off, I wasn't going off back, and I was just saying, "Why are you talking to me like that?" And I think that irritated her more. And I said, "Take a breath." And every time I would tell her to calm down or ask that, it would just
don't tell me to calm down.
Yes.
Don't tell me to calm down. You the one that said so. Yeah. And that for real. If she's younger, then that is a sign of immaturity. It really is. It's a sign of immaturity, and yeah, it is.
Right.
Wait, you know what's interesting?
What's that?
So I think it's real interesting that I have a lot of black what you call, like, I guess the people that I'm around that are women are very vocal, right? And so they call that more so being expressive and letting you know the real of how they feel, whereas they would say the old generation suppress their feelings.
No.
Okay.
You see how you because you
I
see
hear what you're saying though.
it's like okay, well no, you calling me a nagger or you saying I'm doing too much, and it's really you don't want to hear how you made me feel or what you know what I'm saying. Whereas the older generation give that grace, but so I think it's a thin line, and it's almost a dual dynamic of suppressing what you feel and how you feel for the sake of whatever, and just being fully aware of how you feel and not being afraid to express how you feel.
Exactly.
But the maturity part of it is being aware of how you feel and knowing that I don't have to express how I feel for everything. I don't have to express it all the time because there's a time and a place. But and then there's a way to express it also. So I know that, yeah, okay, well, I'm feeling some kind of way. And she could have just said, well, I'm really kind of feeling some kind of way because, I did call you and you didn't call me back.
Right.
But it sounds like the drama of it is what a lot of people engage in these days. And that's, to me, that's not just about expressing yourself. It's the drama of relationships, the drama of, and there's a difference. Like you said, there is that fine line, but the maturity part of it, I can express how I feel, but I don't have to go to the drama side of it.
Yes.
But I can still express how I feel.
I express how I feel. And I made the comment. I said, we both are adults. And I'm I didn't say express, but I said, I'm just letting you know. I'm just making a comment. I said, we can't have a civil discussion. Nah. I said, okay. She said, I've been good to you. Girl, you younger than me. You ain't been no better than me than I've been to myself. That's that Rufus side coming out and always gets me in trouble. But I didn't say it. And so I think I've grown a little bit that I just didn't make I could have taken it there. But like you say, Joanne, why meet drama with drama?
Right.
And especially because a lot of my friends are younger than me. So their experiences are limited in most in most cases compared to what I've experienced. Not that it was so great, but it's just more because I got a little more time under my belt. Right. So I try to weigh all that in and try not to be in such a pop off like I may have been maybe 20 years ago. And I don't know, but I was curious to know what would be your take on that.
And then part of if it being that she's a lot younger, then part of it you can help her out also. Is to let her know, that the way you came at me, that wasn't cool. That was over the top. That really just sent me to wanting to run from you instead of being wanting to stay, being attracted to you or stay your friends. Because and I tell young people all the time, especially, and I see it where it's like the drama means you love me, the drama means you care about me, the drama means that, and it's like, you don't need all of that. Extra. And then if you acting, I had to tell a young girl, if you acting crazy, why would he want you and you acting crazy?
Right.
What about this action makes you think that he would want you back?
Exactly.
Think about it.
Exactly.
Because now he sees you as being crazy, as cray-cray. He sees
you as crazy. Just straight off.
So now what in this action that you just did, why would he want you back now? Instead of maybe if you just called him every now and then, or I still love you, or whatever. But you acting, you breaking windows and acting stupid, doing drive-bys, and why would he want you back? So part of it is talking to them too. It's letting them know that drama is not love. Drama is not, even friendships should not be based on that drama. I guess me, because I don't like drama, so I'm the wrong one, because I will run in the other direction.
Yes,
always.
And I don't argue. Arguing is not something I do. I just won't be bothered. I'll, bite my tongue, especially now,
Mm.
and just, like, oh, whatever, and just go on, because I just don't want that type of energy
right
in my space.
I love energy. I love positive energy. I like
Positive
energy now.
energy.
I do. I like energy.
Positive
But that
energy.
type of, I don't, and
It
I've
was
never been that way.
no,
Never.
no,
Yeah.
no, never, never, never. All right. If you just tuning in, it was talking to Joanne, Justin, and Rufus, and we come to you every week, 7:00 p.m. on Sundays, and we want you to subscribe, like, and share this broadcast, and tell your friends about talking to. It's a very great show, and I would, if we do say so ourselves. And we love coming to you every week and just having a conversation. We're going to always be open and welcoming new listeners and new people, because everybody has something to say. There's so much to talk about, and you're part of our talking to community. And with that, Justin has some great hot topics that we're going to discuss today.
Yes,
so
yes.
Turn the tables over to the man.
All right. So first, we gotta talk about Black Panther. Black Panther was just released Friday.
Okay.
And it's opening with $180 million over the last 3 days. It's reported today it's about $180 million. Yeah, in sales. So that's super great.
Yes.
Super great. So have any of you guys seen it? You guys plan on seeing it?
I plan on seeing it.
I plan on seeing it, yes.
Okay.
Did you go?
Have
you seen it yet?
So have I seen it? It's seen me, but I haven't seen it.
You were viewing from home.
You must have been
No,
tired.
I was asleep.
At the movies?
Yeah, I was asleep.
You get in trouble for going to sleep.
So now you really gotta watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it. Okay. But you know what my issue is? That movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I heard it was long.
I know. Ooh, I don't have time for that in my life.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I don't care if it's Black History, Yellow History. 2 hours and 45. That's 3 hours, yo. No.
If it's good and keeps hey.
My thing with these movies, these hero movies, it always has like 3 endings. Like I took my son to go see Black Adam not too long ago. I'm like, bro, this movie could have ended. It got like 3 endings. Like it's like the battle, and then it's the after battle. Like, come on now, just end the movie.
Be done.
Okay, there's gonna be another one, so save it. Yeah.
But okay, see, you analyze.
That's that politician in them.
Just enjoy the movie.
Mm-mm. Listen, I could have enjoyed it. Nah, too many endings.
You be analyzing stuff.
So, did you guys see the first?
Because I know I was
going to sleep.
The first one?
Did you guys see the first one?
I saw the first one. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about what this movie, The Black Panther, has done for our community, and just how does it make you feel proud? Like what has it done? Like, for you as individual, especially, you guys are older than me, not too much older, but I know now we have a lot of you see the tiptoe, but now it's cool to be Black, and then I wouldn't say it's totally cool, but it's cooler than it's ever been to be Black. And we got Black action figures. This is new for us, so probably being in a time where there were no, well, I guess these are our comics that came out some time ago, but the way that it's being advertised and publicized and put in movies now, it's never been before. So, how did you guys feel about that? And what's that dynamic of not seeing it and then seeing it, and
Joanne?
I think it's a positive. I really do, because in the past, when you look at the 70s, 80s, Pam Grier, Shaft, Richard Brown, so a lot of it was, what do you want to call it? Where we only had, maybe 2 roles, maybe 3. Either you were a maid, a butler, a pimp, a hoe, or a prostitute, whatever word you want to use. And so now
I prefer hoe.
Love them hoes.
Prostitute. It sounds too much like a prosecutor.
People, huh?
I said prostitute sounds too much like a prosecutor. It almost sounds important.
But then you had actors like Sidney Poitier who really mainly played positive roles. But that's one person out of how many? You know, you had others. We did have others. We did. Diane Carroll, so we did have others. But now they're more positive Black roles.
Yes.
And so these movies are telling the people, and it's telling our history that we are kings and queens, everybody, and princes and princesses. We truly are. And so that's what I like about it, is that it's really giving a broader spectrum and really telling, and that's why a lot of people are upset. Some of these people who have issues with just Black folks, period, but they're upset with a lot of these positive roles. They're upset with Halle being, the mermaid. Is a fictional character, everybody, but she's a Black mermaid. But it's a positive role for little kids. And that's what I like about it. That's how I feel. That is I love it. I love it.
When I first went to see it, and the first clue that I saw that it had impact people was when I was in there waiting for the movie to start, and people were coming dressed in African garb, and I was oblivious of what was going on, and I'm thinking, why were they dressing like that? And then I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, wow, the movie had just opened. It was just opening that day, and how these people were reacting to something that they had not seen, and they were very. You could tell the people were very proud. They were proud to be with their garb, and they were, all the conversations that I could hear in the theater were talking about this movie that no one had seen. When I saw the movie, and I think that might have been the scene, maybe, what was a couple of scenes? I think the fight scene sticks out, and I saw that mass of Black people, and I was like, wow. The entire frame, the entire film, for all intents and purposes, are Black people. And I said, this is the greatest cinema experience that I've ever had with Black people. Of course, we had ladies singing the blues, but it was a sad story. And not that this didn't have sad parts in it, but it was filtered with other races, and but just a complete all Black cast. Exceptional talent.
Yes.
I say it just sends a great mark, and it speaks to our excellence. It speaks to commitment to your craft. It spoke to dedication, and I'm sure all of the takes that they had to do, and then replay those same scenes over again, and it was just phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. That's
wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So next hot topic that I want to bring up today is today we did this thing at my church, and we called it Church is Canceled Day. We called it Church is Canceled. Okay. So instead of having church today, we canceled church, and we did a 2-part activity where the first part was a tour. We went on a tour today with the historian. I'm actually going to bring him on my show.
Okay.
Bring him on. And we talked about some rich history. And the interesting thing is that we didn't go to downtown Detroit at all. We went right to the neighborhoods, and got into right into the neighborhoods. I learned some real cool things. And then suddenly, it kind of sparked the thought to me. Most of the Black celebrities that we have, for role models per se in today's world, are entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
They're athletes, they're comedians, they're actors or whatever. But during this tour, I come to find out that the most influential people in Black culture was Black doctors. They were Black lawyers. They were, pharmacists. Nurses. They were leaders. And I thought to myself two things. When did it change? When did we stop being? We never stopped being doctors and lawyers. But when did we make it be just entertainment? Oh, you got to be a rapper. You got to be a ball player. And so that kind of triggered a thought. And I thought to myself, Then I started to think about what's his name, J.L. Huger, and the FBI director.
Okay.
The Black Messiah, which was a mission by the FBI to get rid of Black leaders. And so I thought to myself, I wonder, was the downfall of Martin Luther King, the downfall of Malcolm X, the downfall of all these Black leaders, is that when things change and we stop really looking at, as role models, as doctors and lawyers, and it changed to pure entertainers? Was that when that change happened? And then that sparked the question that I want to ask you guys is the responsibility of a role model. Is that something that everybody must accept and take accountability for? Or just because you're famous, people know you just can still do whatever you want to do? And because role models are typically people that want to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But if I don't want to be a role model and kids look up to me, am I responsible for what I say and do? Let's talk about
it. Good question.
That's an excellent question.
Excellent question. I'm going to use an example of when I first, not when I first, but when I was playing at the particular church, and I had the youth choir, and they were, they were under 18, and not that I was living so raggedy or anything, but I was conscious of being around these children of adults who were trusting me to provide a service. And I don't think I was considered a role model, but I felt some sense of responsibility in front of these youth of how whatever I may say in rehearsal or my behavior in rehearsal or even after rehearsal might affect their decision making at that time and maybe later on in their life. But for somebody, and I wasn't trying to be a role model either. I just think, and I don't know how crazy this may sound, but I just don't think what you do should be exposed to everybody. Not that it's bad or not that it's good, but even for rappers who do whatever they do, but it's just so open. I think there is a responsibility for themselves not to expose themselves so openly. I don't want to say everybody, but weed is smoking weed is a big culture or a big thing in today's culture. But I don't think everybody needs to see you. Say, for instance, Snoop Dogg. Now everybody knows he's what we say, weed head or a connoisseur of weed. Now, he has a lot of influence with teenagers and children, and he's very active as a coach and all this. But look at Rick James. He was known for smoking weed, but he had the bad boy reaction. It was just not accepted. Now I know Rick James was not trying to be a role model. He just didn't care. So I don't know. I just think that you should just have some type of conscience of just not doing everything in front of everybody. I don't know. What do you think, Joanne?
I agree. I think that we should have a little more, what do I want to say? For lack of a better term, a little more respect for ourselves, that what we do, other people see. And my thing is that, especially if these people who they have their own children, they have their, so, and then they don't want their children to be involved with all the stuff that they're doing. But you let the whole world, so eventually your children are gonna see.
Very good
your
point.
Children, you want to protect yours, but hey, guess what? But you out there, and so I think there's that's hard, because some people, even if you're not trying to be a role model, but you're in the limelight. You're in the public light.
And some people just, and people are like, well, this is my job. I can't help that people love the music I make. And because people love the music I make, y'all put me on TV and y'all monetize me in action figures. Like, I can't help that. But I never signed up to be a role model. I like weed. I like to smoke weed. I want to smoke it all day. You know what I'm saying? Not me personally, but it's like,
but to me, it goes back to what. But I guess if you don't have that mindset, because I was going to say, it goes back to what I want my kids to see. What I want my mama to see, my dad to see, what I want my,
Put it in and out. Say it again, Justin.
But then some people don't care. Some people really, really don't care. So that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Yeah.
But so now the question I have to piggyback on what Justin said is, how do you as a parent navigate your child who may see a rapper as or heavily influenced by a rapper? How do you tell them, or how do you show them, or what do you do to keep them grounded, or keep them not
wanting to go that way,
to keep them focused on what they should be?
I think you got to be real with them. I think you got to be real with them. I coach basketball. I coach middle school basketball. They got all these rappers and stuff like that. And I tell them, like, oh, you got to understand that rapper, he's an entertainer, right? So half the stuff he's saying, he probably never even lived. He probably never held a gun until he got in a music video. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell them, you have to remember that. Now, some of these guys have, they didn't do their stuff, whatever. Their job is to entertain you. They're selling you something. That's why you like it. That's why it's appealing to you, because they're actually trying to do that. They're actually trying to. So enjoy your music, enjoy it, listen to it, but just keep in mind, this is not real life. Like, it's not real life.
It's a persona. So a lot of it is just a persona.
It's not real life.
Just a persona.
And I think that's better than saying, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. No, because they're going to find a way to do it anyway.
They going to listen.
So you just say, hey, that's cool, and whatever, but that's not, it's a song, I mean, I like Drake, you know what I'm saying? Some people could call Drake a womanizer from some of his music, but it's entertaining. It's not the truth to how I feel,
Right.
It's just, it sounds good. Drake and 21 Savage got a new song. What is this name of the song? It's the first song on the album, but I think the song is hilarious. Okay,
really,
the lyrics is just hilarious, and I feel like they say things that are pushy, but as a man, I can relate. Like, I can relate to, it's funny to me because I get why they're saying that or whatever. And I think every man has probably had that thought before or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's entertainment. It's not real life. It's not how I feel about any of the women, you know what I'm saying, in my life, or it's not how I would want anybody to. But to me, it's just a song. It's not. It's a song.
But you could rationalize that as an adult,
right?
But when you have the young children who can't rationalize like you do, so how do you, you know, how would you? I mean, because you could say, "Oh, it's just a song," but if that's what they see, if that's how they see these people acting, if that, how would you, like, say with your children, how would you?
Yeah, I think the way that they, you know, I think with kids is more so about show them whatever. Mm-hmm. So they don't see me, you know, talk to their mother in that way. They don't see me disrespect their mother. They see me love their mother. They see me take care of their mother. So it's more so not in what you gotta say. And so now you can put two and two together that, oh, it's just a song, because that's not how you treat mama. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Okay. So I think it's being real, being relatable. And I was just telling that to somebody this week is, you know, like, you know, your children should see you embrace your spouse. You know what I mean? Like, they should see that, because that helps them. They're going to remember that. You know what I mean? Yes. They'll remember that over the song that was on the radio.
That's true. Yeah, that's
true. You know what I'm saying? That's true. So I just think that you have to, I truly believe in letting a kid be a kid, honestly. I think we try to demonize and over spiritualize a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be. Let a kid be a kid and be that example for them, and I think that they'll be fine. Because at the end of the day, I think most parents too, and I see this a lot in parents and like my parents' age, stuff like that, is I think that most parents my parents' age, they take personal accountability for their children, right? Watch this now. When we're young, yes, you have to take personal accountability for me, right? But when my grown tail got my own mind, I don't care what you
I'm done. I'm done. I did my job.
Exactly.
I did my job, for real.
So if your kid is grown and they're making bad decisions, they don't got nothing to do with what you taught them or what you did teach them. They doing it because they want to. At the end of the day, they want to.
Because I did it because I wanted to.
My point exactly. That point exactly.
So that's keeping it real.
That's keeping it real. But like you said, it's really true, because even like with my son when he was younger, and you know, they was bitches and hoes and all the other, you know. So we literally sat him down and you know, first of all, that's music. We can't stop you, because I ain't gonna be tracking you down trying to figure out what you listen.
What you doing?
Right.
I don't have that kind of time. But,
right.
But letting him know, like you said, I mean, my husband, do you see me treating your mama like that? Do you see me talking to your mama like that? You know, and me, do you see me as a bitch or a hoe? Now I can act. And I remember having this conversation with my son, for real, because my son, we were ones. You'll never say that I never told you anything. You'll never say that mama never said nothing, daddy never said it. And so with my son, you had to be just straight up.
Okay.
You know, I learned that you just don't beat around the bush. You just had to say, you call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade.
You know, so we had that conversation. And so I agree with you, Justin, that you just kind of have to, because they're going to do their thing anyway.
They're going to do their thing.
You can't run after them. You cannot. But we did have a conversation like, that's entertainment. And I don't have thugs living in my house. So you're not a thug. You're not you know, that was the term then when he was coming up.
Right.
You know, so no, but yeah, you just have that honest conversation, but they're going to do. And as you get older, they're going to do what they're going to do.
You know, I'm involved in working with a winter concert with this particular school. And when I was working with the students, Friday, I played a video of Michael Jackson, one of his concerts. And so I'm sitting and I'm observing the students, and I'm trying to think, is is this appropriate for these students to be able to see Michael Jackson? Because I couldn't think of anything that he has done in his shows that were just like, oh my God, I don't want my kid to see that. So as I'm watching it, I see the little girl, or the little girl, she jumps out of the seat, and she immediately does the splits. And I'm looking, that's okay. Where's she going with this? And then she starts working the floor. I said, excuse me, young lady. I said, you will not be doing that in this room. Get off the floor and sit down. So she gets up, and it just dawned on me. I said, who did you see do that? Because I knew she had to see somebody. She's like, Lil Durk's video, those video girls on Little Durk. I said, here, easily influenced by a celebrity, and they've gone and did the video, made their money, gone on about whatever they are doing. But here's this little kid thinking it, processing in their mind, oh, it's appropriate to just jump on the floor and do the splits. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And pound it and shake it.
Yes,
on the floor.
On the floor.
Yeah.
I said, whoa. Crazy. So I like that idea though of what did you all call that, Justin? No church?
I told the church is canceled.
Church is canceled.
Church is canceled.
I like
more on fellowship.
That I like that activity. Yeah. Where else did you all go?
So what neighborhood did you go to?
Our first stop was over in Maccabeewick area, on the Herbert Street. There's a doctor by the name of what's his name? Starts with the S. Doctor starts with S. Anyway, he was a black doctor, or he was one that he was a passing. I learned this new word. So a passing was a black person who was so light skinned white folks couldn't tell if they were black or not. So
I know people that still do it now. Yeah.
Do you really?
I really do. I know people that still pass now.
Yeah. Wow. So he was black. He moved into this neighborhood right on the corner of Charlevoix and Garland, I believe. And he was, he had good money. He had, cars, stuff like that. They found out he was passing, and the mob came. And they started to throw stuff at his house and different stuff like that, throwing rocks in it. And long story short, his brother ended up shooting out a gun out the window, killing one white person and injuring another one. And this is where we get the castle law from, which basically gives people the right to protect themselves in their home. Somebody come into your home, you have the right to kill them because it's your home. So this is where we get that law. And believe it or not, Frank Murphy was the actual judge, which we know the Frank Murphy courthouse. That proceeded over that case. So he won the court cases, but him and his whole family died of tuberculosis. So sounds like a setup on it. Look, conspiracy theory. Yeah, like everybody died from TB. So that was a really pretty interesting story. So like right in the neighborhood where that story is, a historical site.
I was gonna say, isn't that a historical site?
It is.
I think they just made that in the last couple years.
Yeah. Can you think of the doctor's name? If I were to,
I can't think of his name.
Essex, Doctor. Yeah.
Because I was born I moved away when we were 6, right on Field and Charlevoix. I lived right on the corner of Field and Charlevoix, which is right in that area. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a lot of mixed culture, So we had teachers, we had doctors, we had, preachers, we had lawyers, and that's when because that was a black area, but we had the black store owners, corner store owners, we had the black gas station owners, all of that, and that's what I liked about our neighbor. Even when we moved over on Burns, it was still the same. We had business owners and doctors and lawyers and teachers and preachers, and so everybody kind of lived together. Where I don't know when I left Detroit in '74, so I don't know when that changed, where the more affluent started moving out and leaving the neighborhoods.
Coleman Young. That's when it started.
Coleman Young.
No, when you said, when you were saying when What were you saying?
When the doctors and the lawyers they started leaving the neighborhoods and go more the suburbs and all of that. Yeah, more going because when like I said, when I was growing up, when I was still here in Detroit, the neighborhoods, you had that mixed culture. You had all of that. So you had it was, I mean, you had the stay-at-home moms, you had the working moms, you had the, you had the mix of everybody. So if you needed somebody, you could run. You knew you could run down the street, and there was a doctor down the street. There was a preacher down the street. There was a, So yeah, but now it's
different.
Like
Dr. Sweet,
it's so different.
Yeah, there you go, Dr. Sweet.
Dr. Sweet.
So we visited there, and we went to Indian Village and just saw the beauty of Indian Village. Those mansions, those beautiful homes. Carmen Harlan. I believe she still lives there. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, the gray house.
Blue house. This is grayish, bluish, grayish. Yeah.
Bluish
yep.
Gray,
So she stayed over there. So it was cool. We did a lot of that. We went to the Brewster projects and whatever, and saw the history of that. And something interesting that I didn't know was that Paradise Valley was where Ford Field is now. So that was
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all of that, all of that whole the whole thing of displacing Black people, for freeways, and stuff like that happened, and it was just a lot of rich history in neighborhoods. We went to one of the first Black hospitals, not too far from like Warren and about the Plymouth Church over there, not too far, DMC area. Not too far over there, where the hospital, was, the building's still there. We went to the wall, the Birdwood Wall, and that's where. So I guess in the 1930s, 1940s, people were returning back from the war or whatever. So you had. That's why a lot of Detroit neighborhoods, all the houses look exactly the same because they was manufactured during the time for getting ready for war. So they just put them up. Everywhere they gonna look alike, just build a house, whatever. Okay. And there's this wall that stretches from like 8 Mile to, I think, like Pembroke area, 8 Mile to Pembroke. And basically you had white folks that lived on one side of the wall and was saying, you building houses, y'all going to allow Black people to stay here. Well, we're not going to go for it. So they built the wall to separate the Black neighborhood from the white neighborhood, whatever. So we went there.
I know the wall, but I didn't know that's what.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yes. So we visited. Wow. We went by the Berry Gordy's mansion in Boston Edison. We went by the house that Berry Gordy bought for Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
We went by there. We went by where else did we go? We went by a lot of different houses where people stayed at, stuff like that. Went through the Eastern Market, Eastern Market area, and supposedly there was a Western Market that 96 took out. There's the Eastern Market and the Western Market, but it no longer exists because 96 is there now. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So it was a lot of good history, and then that was the first half of the day was a tour. And then Black Panther was the second half of it.
Gotcha. Now, what was Ken Coleman your tour guide?
No, this guy by the name of Branton Hunter.
Oh, okay.
He's a Detroit historian, Morehouse grad. He's a pretty cool dude. I'm gonna bring him on the show next time.
So, who came up with this idea? Because I think it's very innovative.
I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
you should
need to ask.
I would have done that with y'all.
I know that was so cool.
Yeah, and we posted it, we put it out, and I started to invite people, whatever. But I was like, yeah, man, it is what it is. Our bus, I think only holds like 30 people. Okay. So I was kind of concerned that if I put it out, it would probably be more people, and then they would have to follow, which they could have followed the bus. It would have been fine, but
we couldn't have heard
But right,
yeah.
but
me and Rufus could have rolled together.
I know
y'all could have rolled together. And then too, the tour guide. Once we got out, once we got out, he had a speaker, so if you were outside, you could talk, whatever.
Oh,
gotcha. One of the really cool things we went by. This was news to me. Was there's this I can't think of the name of the street, but there's this block where it's a lot of frat houses over there. So Omega Psi Phi has their frat house on this street, and it's right in the Wayne State area. And then there's this old mansion that sits on the corner of Woodward. But anyway, it's called the Detroit Women's Club, right? That was founded or whatever. And I guess in the deed of this building, of this social club, it was stated that Black folks couldn't live on this particular street. Really? So if you go to the house, if you go to the street side of it, there's a brush side and then there's the actual street side. If you go to the street side of it, you can see where there is a porch and there was a door and the door have been bricked. So these Black women said, you know what? You ain't gonna get rid of us. They had the door on the street side cemented in and put a front door on the brush side and said, we ain't moving, we ain't going nowhere. Because the address side is now on brush and not on the actual street.
Awesome. What? Right now.
Yes.
By any means necessary.
Yes.
Right. So they was able to keep their house because they moved the address to the side of the house. Because the house was on the corner. So they moved it to the corner side, and now the house is on this street and not that main street.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool and unique. And right on the corner of that street is the Lewis College, the HBCU that has been business that has been opened up. So all of those are right on the same street, but I can't think of the name of the street.
And that's pretty interesting. Wayne State area.
It's Wayne State area. Yep.
That is fascinating.
That really is.
Yeah, that is very fascinating.
If you look up the Detroit Women's Club, I'm sure it'll pop up because the building is still there. It's still like people are, operating it. I don't know what they're doing in it or what, but it's a historical plaque out front and and everything too. Yeah.
I love that. That. Yeah, interesting day. Now, did the musician get the day off with pay?
He did. He did. I had some folks mad at me. I had some folks mad at me, but he did.
That's good looking.
I took care of.
That's good because of you being a musician. You understand it.
First
yes.
I had people like, but we not having. I know we not having service. I know. I get it. I understand. But listen, we have to take care of our people.
That's right.
When you take care of your people, your people take care of
you. That's
now, what would be the difference? If we didn't have churches, we would have paid them anyway.
Right. Exactly.
So what's really are we not really gaining? What are we really gaining?
Nothing.
So no, you pay the man. You pay the man.
I love it.
Hopefully he had a good day today and got to do whatever he did. But yeah, we took care of the musicians.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Sure. What's the name of your church again?
Conqueror's Church.
Conqueror's Church. Conqueror's Church, you all right with me? I like y'all over there.
It's so funny you ask. It's so funny you ask that question. It's so funny you ask that.
Let me put a bug in the place where I work. And I'll say nothing else.
I'm not even my musician, but I sure need to put some bugs.
I believe. I'll tell you one thing.
Okay, I'm leaving alone.
Look, this is the kind of structure that I believe in.
Okay.
I believe this. If you're my main musician, right, you're here. I believe in taking ownership. I want you to take ownership, right? So if you're not here, if you're not going to be here, then you need to find somebody to be here. And I'm going to pay you to, even though you're not here. And it's your responsibility to take care of whoever you feel like gap in.
Coming in your place.
That way, if you get your home or somebody, that's on you.
That's on you.
As long as so take ownership in your job, in your position.
You're right.
So that's what I preach. So
that's excellent.
It is.
Yeah. So that way, if they get their homeboy to come for $100, then they or half off, they're taken care of.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Before we go, do you have another topic? Hot topic?
I do. Last but not least, NBA player Kyrie Irving. I don't know if you guys are following.
Please bring us up to date with this story.
So Kyrie, there's supposedly I don't know if it was a movie, a book, or something that came out, and it's pretty like pro-Black, pro-Hebrew type of movement. Mm-hmm. This same book or movie or document, I think it's a movie on Amazon. even though it can be good for pro-black and die, I'm guessing Kyrie didn't read to the credits. The same document that is pro-black and that is whatever it is, that can be good or a good rich history, it also shames or speaks on how the Holocaust wasn't real. So
that's okay.
Yeah, so it offended Jews, Jews, right?
The Jewish community. The
Jewish community, because in promoting this, even though that is good in these area, you're saying this message comes with that, and I don't think that he was aware of that. He must have only watched the clip or only watched the whatever and then promoted it. But it's like when you have 1 billion people following you, you see where the problem comes in at. So he has since been suspended from the NBA, but not only suspended, there came a list, and I have nothing else to call it, but I have to call it an ass kissing list. Okay. So not only they suspend him, they want him to donate money to a charity, speak with Jewish losers. It's all these things laid out that they're trying to get him to do that he has to do as part of suspension. And it's like, no. Hold on.
Right.
I'm not saying what he did was right.
Right.
I'm not saying it was right. But suspend him, fine him, and that's it. To mandate that he has to talk to somebody or talk to this person and do this and do that and do this, and he has to publicly apologize, and you are overstretching your boundary, Adam Silver. You need to go somewhere and take several seats, because out of all the hate speech that I've seen when it comes to Donald Trump and all these other people who are not NBA members, or even how some NBA owners, we've had some that got caught, saying the N-word, and Donald Sterling and stuff like that. Yes, they had to be fined and stuff like that, but they eventually sold their team. But there was no stipulation that he had to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
He sold his team because it was probably good for his business. The NBA didn't force him to sell his team. So it always is surprising to me that when it comes to black people messing up or saying something or being misinformed about something, not having a picture, there's all these extra things where people could say whatever the heck they want to say about black folks, and it's just we're training, right?
Right, with no pillars. Yeah.
So Kyrie Irving actually put out a statement today, and I quote, "I was not put here on earth to participate in any religious, political wars or entice racial disharmony, prejudice within communities. We are all equal under the sun, and I am here to participate in the building of an equal world and follow the word of the Most High God, Yahweh." So he released that statement today. Is this part of the apology? Because he still hasn't said sorry.
Right.
But to me, it sounds like an apology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's correcting how he feels at his heart.
Right.
Piggyback on this. This happened a couple weeks ago. This kind of skirted under the radar. People don't know this. But you have a running back at Michigan, Donovan Edwards, who is the number 2 running back, very talented 5-star guy, does a really good job. Kanye West posted something that was like racial or whatever, and he retweeted it. And I guess maybe not fully understanding what Kanye was saying or whatever. Let me pull it up so I can tell you exactly
Donovan,
what he said.
He plays for Michigan State?
Michigan.
For Michigan.
Yep.
What's his last name again?
Edwards.
Okay.
Let me see if I can see what he say. Okay, so the tweet that he put up was a retweet, and I'm trying to figure out, everybody's reporting on it.
And
University of Michigan
retweet?
It was something that Kanye. Let me try to find it. Everybody. So University of Michigan came out, and he actually apologized, and he said that it was a error. It was a mishap. Like basically.
So he didn't read the whole thing.
He just kind of. Oh Lord, that's why they see reading as fundamental.
Right.
That's true, though. That is
yes. Mm-hmm.
Michigan football player. Let me see. Tweet.
So was this
okay? Here it is.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
So Michigan football player Donovan Edwards clarified story, apologized for Kanye West, anti-systematic stance retweet. So let me see if I can find the tweet. So the tweet was what that Kanye posted said, Jewish people will literally tell you that they want to kill your own and humiliate your women simply because you have children to feed. That's what the tweet was. And he reshared that.
Okay.
Why? That's
I think because I think everybody, you either love Kanye or you hate Kanye. I love Kanye.
Right.
I don't think Kanye crazy. But, Kanye has spoken his truth. And because he's spoken his truth, people have, Adidas have pulled their shoes. People don't realize that Jewish people run a lot of the media and different stuff like that. So you can get canceled really, really quick. And I think this is what Kanye is alluding to. I think he's saying it in this big form of they can literally tell you they want to kill your own and humiliate your women simply because you have children to feed. He's more talking about like his brand, his product, and being controlled by them. You know what I mean?
His money
so
stream.
There's some truth to what Kanye is saying. It's not literal, but there is truth to some of that. A lot of Jewish people do run the media, and if you offend one of them, they'll pull you. They'll do what they do. That's their proven fact.
That's entertainment. That's that world.
That's that world. So there's some truth to that, and I think that truth to that allowed Donovan Edwards to retweet this. But again, people have to understand that in saying this implies all of this, and I think that's what you have to be careful with in today's world, because it's not what people are saying, it's what's implied. And the crazy thing is people can imply whatever the world they want to imply to whatever you say. That's why it's important that if you have a platform, you have a stance, that you be clear, you be intentional, and you really understand if you say something or share something, what does this really mean?
What does it mean?
Right. And you need to know, like you said, you need to know and understand, just like Kanye goes off the hook. He goes and he opens his mouth without really, and that's why people have issue with him, because he doesn't understand. I'm not going to say he doesn't understand. He does not see where a lot of his comments have gotten him into trouble. He does not.
I'll say this about Kanye.
Off the chain.
I feel like Kanye, something that I'm very, very conscious of. And I think maybe because I'm a police officer and I've had all this mental health training, but I'm real conscious about calling people crazy, right? Really conscious about calling people crazy,
right?
Mental health, whatever. But furthermore, what I really realize is that people that think differently than us, or people, watch this, who are not afraid to speak how they feel or what their truth is, we call them crazy, or we call them out of their mind. And we kind of ostracize them as a bad thing. Watch this. Kanye got on stage with Taylor Swift and said what everybody in that freaking room was thinking. Taylor Swift, you're a good person, but there's no way in the world you should have won this. This should have went to Beyonce. George Bush don't like black people. These are all things that everybody know. But because Kanye is brave enough to say it, we call him crazy. And I don't think that that's crazy. I just think that he's brave. He's more brave than anybody. And I'll tell you this, as a pastor, as a preacher, that's something that I battle and I struggle with, because God has given many different revelations to different people, all depending on your relationship. And sometimes the revelation that God gives me, I be feeling like, Lord, if I say this, these church folk gonna put me out the church, because most church people have been institutionalized to think a certain way. Because,
it's been ingrained in them.
Because so and so got this revelation, and that's what it is today. And if you try to come against that, or you say something different than that, it's the same thing. You're a devil, you're a heathen. Maybe just God gave me a different revelation on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, you know what? I will say this about, and I can appreciate having, your freedom of speech and being able to verbalize it. I think Barry Gordy was onto something when he took all of his acts and they, what we would call now a sensitivity program or sensitivity workshop. Mm-hmm. He did that with the acts of Motown to educate them on things that how to be, I guess, to be appropriate.
But but what is that really teaching, though?
Now, and I was going to say, now, of course, he was putting his brand and his spin on how his act should act. So technically, those acts of people belong to the Motown franchise. And this is the guideline. These are the stipulations that he expected out of his employees. Now, I don't know if Kanye is connected with a major label, or is everything being done underground, or is he producing all of his work? And if that is the case, that can solidify him saying whatever he wants. Now, if he's not in that position, he can still say whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. But we'll just have to go with the flow of whatever the repercussions are.
But that's literally his whole MO. I mean, he did this interview on this Uncensored. I'll send it to you. And he was talking about it. And he said, I told y'all a long time ago, wait till I get my money right. Mm-hmm. And he's like, now I'm a billionaire. I don't need anybody. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna say look at how I feel. I'm gonna say my truth because I don't need any of y'all to back me. I'm not afraid of y'all pulling y'all production. I'm not afraid of y'all trying to, cut my hands so I can't eat. Y'all can't control me because I've created my own financial freedom. Now y'all gonna hear the truth.
And I'm all for it too.
Me too.
I'm all for it. He just got to go with the flow of whatever people say about him. And that's good. Please have your coins together before you decide to take a stand.
And not need any more, as you said.
And not anymore.
What you have.
That's
right. Because most companies, most businesses, most have a clause.
Mm-hmm.
True. That's why I don't know if you guys know, but
that's why these people pool. That's why these. Yeah. And so, yep, you got your money. You can say what you want to say, but make sure that you're not gonna need them down the road either. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you know what I'm saying. Make sure that, and sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's in the context. It's in the atmosphere. Delivery. It's not what you say. It's how it comes. It's how it's given. So
it's always in the delivery. Did you want to see the interview that he did? Now Harvey from TMZ and from People's Court had him to come to the studio. Did you all see that interview? Mm-hmm. And so he's talking to him, and Kanye stops the interview, and then he stops the workflow of the TMZ newsroom, and he says, "Everybody stop! Everybody stop working and listen to me. And this is what I have to say." Now, Harvey, he let him do whatever he wanted to do, and let him say, and there was an exchange between Kanye and that other black reporter that works at TMZ. I can't think of his name. And I'm thinking as he's doing this, I don't think he was offensive or anything, but it was just kind of just bizarre how he went about doing it. And I said, he's on, I don't know, shaky ground. Mm-hmm. Because here is this Jewish man who's running this empire of entertainment news. And even though that I have the freedom and the ability to speak and say whatever I want, and I'm speaking as Kanye, I would be very, very cautious because I have children. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, you know, people can take things out on people that are close to you. So, well, I can't get Rufus, but I know Rufus has a son over there. Now let's treat him bad. Now this may not even happen to him because he was married to, or Kim Kardashian was married to him. So there may be a shield that is going to keep them safe or keep them protected from outside entities. But I just think and it's just in how you do it. I don't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to
because
be
like with that
Lily White to get his point across. But just just like, well, look, this is what it is, and this is how it is. These are these businesses are. But see, when people see when you change that tone in your voice, and you go from this way speaking, which people might say that, oh, you're speaking that way because of the audience or because of the white person or the Jewish community or whatever. But when you start and you raise it and and society has already colored the narrative of young Black men. And yes, I would say, he does his music. He's appreciated. He has a loyal fan club. However, here we go with that influence role model. Now here I go. I'm Johnny Jones. And I'm working at GM, going to work, and I go on job and say, you all because Kanye has given me some type of freedom that I can speak. That might have some negative impact on everyday, I don't want to say everyday people, but people that are not in that industry. And you just got to be a little conscious of it. Just a little.
And you should always take ownership. You should always be conscious of, like even with that interview, what it sounds like, and that wasn't even his platform. Now you on somebody else's
platform.
And so now you're trying to take over somebody else's platform. And we do know Kanye has some mental issues. We do know that he's on medication that he does not want to take. We know from his mother before she passed. We know that. And she's the one that made him stay on his meds. We know all of that. So that's why people are saying, that because you have to respect other people also. You have to respect other people's platforms, even though you need to say what you need to say, even though, but that wasn't even his platform. That's somebody else's. Now you went in there and you ran and raved with somebody else's platform. First of all, it's disrespectful. And it makes you look crazy. It really does. So he has to take some ownership of how people feel about him also. And there are some things that people know, so they take that to the extreme because they know,
right.
So it's it's a mixed bag. So you got to
definitely.
Well, I know we've had a great show today, and as always, but I think I want to get that hat.
My hat.
I love
it's yours. hey, it's all yours. It's all yours. I told you I had to wear. I had to,
to match his coat today.
To match your coat
to the hat.
You had to match your coat today.
Do it, Jay. Joanne, your closing thoughts.
Right, nothing wrong with that.
Definitely.
My mama bought me this coat. You know what I'm saying?
You better wear that coat.
And I'm going to go see her when I soon as I get done with this. So she's gonna, it's all. You know what? The crazy thing about this is a Kohan coat, right? $350. Guess how much I got it for?
How much?
$100 at Macy's.
Really?
That's my type of shopper.
Kid you not. $350 coats, Kohan. $100.
That's a nice
now, how
coat.
did you look up on that deal?
I really like those.
My mama did. She got me two of them. She got me.
I was too,
Joanne. Buttonholes. I'm a seamstress, so I'm noticing them buttonholes. That's sweet. They
it is.
Yeah. Those buttons and those,
quality.
That's a nice coat. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yes.
Like I said, Mama bought me this coat. I don't know. It's a movie. It's a movie where I guess somebody was trying to take somebody's coat, and he said, "My mama bought me this coat." Yeah.
Joanne, in closing, what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Oh, just, you know what? Oh my goodness. Good conversation today. It really is, especially with the culture of what's going on now.
Exactly.
And just you know what? We just have to stay focused. Mm-hmm. And you know, and I know we didn't talk about it today, but you know what? Michigan is blue.
Yes.
Michigan has turned blue. But we still got to stay on top of the people that were elected last week. Mm-hmm. We need to stay on them, stay on top of them, make sure they're doing what they say they're going to do and what they're supposed to do. But hey,
there it is.
Everybody just keep it moving every day. Mm-hmm. Just get up. Thank God for another day. Do what you can do and help somebody else.
It helps. Yeah. Yeah.
Bless somebody every day. Just bless somebody, whether it's with a smile, with a hello, right, with something, but bless somebody else. Yeah,
definitely. Justin,
be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. You gotta be careful, and you gotta let your yays be yays and your no's be no's. But be careful what you say, because in this world, you know, I'm reminded when Kevin Hart was going to host the ESPYs.
Okay.
I think. And they found some tweet that he may have tweeted 10 years prior about homosexuals that was a joke. But they wanted him to apologize. And he said, "No, I'm not apologizing for something I said 10 years ago that was funny and was a joke. I'm not saying sorry for that." And you know what? They said, "Okay, we'll find somebody else." Wow. And he didn't host the ESPYs that year. So be careful what you say. You know, what you say goes a long way. It does. And people are no longer forgiving. We're living in a cancel culture, which I think is so unfair. I think it's so unfair. I think it's demonic to cancel people. Yes. People are human. You know, right. We make mistakes. We say things we don't mean all the time. Yeah, I do. You know, I have to go back and say, you know, I didn't mean it like that. I understand. You know, I apologize. Type of stuff. So be careful. Choose your words wisely. Wise have power. You know, the Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue. You know,
yes, it
is. It's not just about speaking things to life, but it's about what you say you really can never take back. You can apologize for it.
Right.
You never
take back.
Never take it back.
And we do have to be conscious of how we interact with people and how we interact, just like on this platform and socially, that people get a full understanding of our intent.
Yeah.
That it's delivered in a certain way that we can express ourselves, but we don't offend others.
Yeah.
It is, you know, and it's a way to do that. Even in the truth telling, this is the truth. These are the facts. But still, we can deliver all that in a very non-offensive way, you know? All right. Well, with that, we are gone next week. We will be back at 7:00. And Joanne, you have a great evening and a great week.
Yes, you too, Rufus. Peace.
Thank you. Peace. Justin, you take care of yourself. All right, buddy. And we'd like to thank everybody for participating and listening and for your comments and talking to. We want you to have a great evening and be blessed.